Hello, my friends on YouTube. It's Ramadan and I'm not fasting. I like a cup of tea like that. It's good. It's good for you. Okay, today's video is Islam and I'm sorry, Ramadan, food, and sex. Uh, we have uh, a Quranic verse concerning fasting in Ramadan for Muslims. It says in English, this is the translation. All believers, fasting is prescribed for you as it was for those before you, the Jews and the Christians. So perhaps you will become mindful of Allah. Okay, let's examine that. Uh, there's another verse also in the same chapter, chapter 2. Okay. Uh, Let me see. If I can. Okay. It has made permissible for you to be intimate with your wives during nights preceding the fast. Uh, I'm going to put that in the description box. You can look at it. But let's go to the first one first and examine that. So, it's actually the word used here, prescribed. From this word comes the word prescription. Like, for example, if you're sick and you go to the doctor and gives you a medicine that you don't like, you can say, I'm not going to say to take this medicine. However, here it's not really like you have a choice. No, this is a command from Allah to you to do fasting. It's actually one of the main pillars of the five pillars of Islam is to fast. So that's practically you don't have an option if you're a Muslim. You have to do fasting. Okay. So let's uh, examine what is fasting. There is fasting and there's the Islamic fasting. Fasting, when I spoke with many people from different faiths, uh, practically fasting is you you're doing fasting for a purpose. And that purpose normally, what I understood, is um, each human being has a mind and a body. I hope we have mind so that we can examine things properly. Each human being consists of a mind and a body. The body sometimes goes wild, like um, cannot control itself. So you need the mind to kind of like direct the body to go to the right way or the right direction. So to obtain that, according to the religious people, you need to put the body down in a way, make it weaker so that the mind can subjugate this body and do the right stuff instead of going wild. And that's why fast or fasting is suggested to those who want to live a religious life. I have no problem with that. The Jewish people, uh, they used to fast Monday and Thursday. And the founder of Islam took that tradition from the Jews, and he used to do the same. And some of his followers until today, they do fasting Monday and Thursday, taken from the Jewish tradition. You want to fast? Good luck to you. I don't care. It doesn't bother me if you even fast the whole year. Go ahead. So that we spoke about the regular fasting is that you abstain from food to have control over your body. Let's see the Muslim fasting. Is it the same? First, it is not suggested, it's a command. Everybody must do it. And I'm glad that the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia made it optional. Those who want to fast, go ahead. If you don't. Before, if you were caught eating, if you're a Muslim in a Muslim country, caught eating, and people see you, they can beat you up, they can put you in jail. It is humiliating. I know that because since I was a teenager, I really disliked this teaching, and I used to challenge the authority and eat in public during Ramadan. Yes, I got cursed, some people tried to fight and all that. Yes. So you're not really free, okay? It's not a suggestion, not as the translation says, okay? You could go to prison for that. Now things changed. So let's see the Muslim fasting compared to the regular fasting. Muslim are supposed to abstain from two things during this fasting. It's food and sex. From sunrise until sunset, a man and a husband and wife should not get intimate with one another during this time. After breaking the fast, after sunset, even if they don't wish to eat first, if they want to have sex, they can do that. And they can eat. The thing is, according to statistics, the food consumption in Islamic worlds, it goes to double and sometimes some countries triple the consumption of food. So reality is you're not really fasting. If you're really fasting, then there should be less consumption of food. They eat more, but in different timing. So what they do, instead of eating breakfast, let's say 7 o'clock in the morning, and normally most people eat small breakfast, whatever breakfast you eat. Let's say you eat breakfast at 7, you eat lunch at 2, 5 or 6 o'clock, you eat your dinner, and that's it. And normally it's because it's divided 3 times, you eat 3 decent or small meals. However, here, because a person may be going to work, working all day, and he didn't eat or drink for the whole day. So during the time of breaking the fast, they would eat probably double of what they eat in a regular meal, if not triple. And they wait until near the end of the night. They can take a nap and they take another good meal to carry them the rest of the day while they are not eating. So, in my opinion, and I think this is correct, that they did not really fast. They are eating more, but in different timing. Okay. What about sex? The two things that they are not supposed to do during the month of Ramadan. There is a website called Islam Web. You can go to that website on your own and look for the questions that they are asked in Ramadan. It is mainly, it's sickening the way it's asked. If you're an average human being, I wouldn't even want to talk about the questions. It's all like their heads has nothing but sex. How can I get around? And even the Prophet himself, there's a hadith, I didn't actually prepare it, but I can put it in the description box, that the Prophet, may the blessing of Allah be whatever this is, used to do things he was not supposed to do in Ramadan. However, because he was the one in total control of his ejaculation, not like you guys. And actually, this is what she said. He was more in control of his sexual organ, controlling when to do ejaculate and when not, more than any of you. And I always stop at this. How did she know that he has more control than these guys that are sitting in front of her? Imagine if you go to your wife and or your husband and tell, if I don't know how to put this. If I go to my wife and I tell her, for example, the next door neighbor has has bigger breasts than yours, or if she comes to me and say, our neighbor, he let's say he controls his sexuality more than you. How do I know that my neighbor has bigger or smaller breasts? And how does she know if my neighbor is takes longer or shorter than me in sex? How? How did Aisha find out? Anyway, so that is the fasting in Islam, is to abstain from food and sex. Reality is they don't abstain from food, they just change the timing. Okay? Similar to the people who are actually, many people are working night shift, drivers and so on and so forth. And they have to sleep during the day. So they actually eat their breakfast, lunch, and dinner at night. Or they eat two good meals at night. And then they sleep during the day. So can we call these people fasting? According to Islam, you could. Uh, what about sex? Same thing. From sunrise until sunset, they cannot do sex. But after sunset, they can do whatever they want. And when you eat that amount of food at once, you want to rest a little bit probably, and then you have a lot of energy. And it's night time. Endless sex. Now, there is another Quranic verse, I'm going to put it up, and it says, it has been made permissible for you to be intimate with your wives during nights preceding the fast. So at night time, you can have intimate relationship with your spouse. Huh? That is granted. And the reason is here, Allah, I will put that in the description box. Allah knows, Allah found out, or he recognized that you are cheating. and you're having sex during Ramadan. He couldn't, he didn't know that before. And when you came to the Prophet telling him that you couldn't control yourself during the day of Ramadan, so he told you, okay, you can do it at night after iftar, after breaking your fast. Now, according to statistics, during Ramadan, the consumption of food is way up. The consumption of sex is way up. Violence is between 15 to 20%. I'm going to put that in the description box. Statistics says that in Islamic country, violence, I'm not talking about terrorism now. I'm talking about violence within the one nation, people fighting with one another all over. And the reason is they are tight. So instead of controlling oneself, that fasting, instead of helping the person to be in control of himself, is rather more out of control, he or she too. Because the questions are asked on Islam Web. Some women also are asking crazy questions. So Islam, we have Islam for more than 1,400 years. That's more than 1,400 Ramadan the Muslim have observed. What did it bring? What is the use of that? It's supposed to bring faith, increase the faith. Okay? Has the faith been increased? This is actually in the first chapter. Okay. O believers, fasting is prescribed for you as was for those before you. Those before the Muslim are the Jews and the Christian. So perhaps, perhaps you will become mindful of Allah. Actually, this is not the exact translation, so that you would be, تتقون, so that you will, it's hard to translate this word really, so that you would be more faithful and honest. I would say this is the closest that I can put the word, faithful and honest. And the reality is the people are doing all kind of stuff to get away with things that they are not supposed to get away with. If you're supposed to abstain from sex, then you shouldn't find ways to get away with things. And that's what's in all of their questions. They're saying it, I cannot. So what did Ramadan do to you? If supposedly to make you more faithful and a good person who can control himself, it didn't succeed. It didn't help for 1400 years. Why are you doing it? Why are you doing it? That's the question. If I ask you, okay, why should I follow Islam? What's good in it that I am missing as a person? What is it? That fear of hell and you are going to be burned for eternity, that nonsense does not scare me. And many people actually are fed up of that intimidative tactic that uh, Many religions actually are doing that intimidative tactic. What do I need with that? And I don't see any success in you. I don't see it. If somebody can tell me if I'm missing something that a Muslim person sees, or a Muslim person becomes better after he, let's say, left Judaism or Christianity or Buddhism and became a Muslim, I would like to know what is missing from the Christian fasting or the Jewish fasting, or what does it make you, but where is it making you better than these people or better than an atheist? Just to claim things because it's in a book, it doesn't work. Thank you very much, and please like, share, and you can ask questions. Thank you.